What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Dylan Talks Tone. On this channel, just to give you an idea, if you're new finding this, we do guitar tone stuff. So basically, we do all kinds of guitar nerdery. Like we dive into how things work, how guitar pickups work, how capacitors work, all the very super nerdy stuff. But today, I kind of want to take it back to the beginning. So, if you are a new guitar player, I want to give you 5 things that I think that every new guitar player should have to have a good basis to get started in this hobby, okay? And I think it's not just a hobby, right? It ends up being a passion. It ends up being something that you'll never ever put down if you really, really enjoy it. The problem is that if you approach it wrong, if you approach it incorrectly, a lot of folks quit. In fact, there's a very high percentage of folks that quit playing guitar not long after starting. So I want to try to get you set up for success. Now here's the thing. For those of you that are more experienced, don't click away. I need you later in the video because I'm going to need your help with some suggestions. So hang out for a second and you'll need to help me in the comments in just a minute. The very first thing you need is a guitar. And you need a good guitar. You need something that you are going to want to play. Now, this guitar doesn't need to be expensive. For just a few $100s, $400 or $500, you could get a really good guitar that you probably want to keep forever. In fact, that's one of my recommendations, kind of little sub point here. Never sell your first guitar. Always keep it so you have it as a reference. Even if you end up buying other guitars or upgrading in the future or whatever, always keep your first guitar. I always tell everybody that. The other thing is not only does it doesn't need to be expensive, but what we really care about is we want something that's going to play correctly. We want it to be able to stay in tune. We want it to do all the things. We want it to function properly as a guitar. You might need a little help in selecting this. Sometimes some of the real inexpensive guitars like you see on, some of the big marketplace sites like Amazon and eBay, I would honestly stay away from and go to more of a reputable brand like Fender, Epiphone or Gibson or PRS or ESP or many of Ibanez, many of those more reputable brands. And I would stay in the range of something that is a little bit more common, right? So that you have more references to be able to find the right thing. If you buy a very inexpensive guitar, this is what happens. A lot of folks will try to buy a very inexpensive guitar, and then they'll find out that there are little things about it that make it more difficult for them to play. And that will push you away from the hobby. Now, on the other extreme of that, I would say buy any guitar that you want that you think is cool. Make sure that it inspires you. If a Telecaster like this does not inspire you because it's too country or because it's whatever, and you want something different that makes you think of maybe a family member that played a guitar, like an uncle or a father or whatever, or maybe you like Slash and you want to, I have a Slash Les Paul over here. You want to be inspired by one of your guitar heroes. Buy whatever guitar inspires you. And one of the cautions I would say, because we're all on social media, is I would say, don't worry about what other people say on social media. If you want to spend a lot of money on your first guitar, if you want to spend, it could be a few $1,000s. If you want to do that because you're inspired, don't let anybody tell you not to. The cost of the guitar has nothing to do with the perceived skill level that goes along with it. Just buy the guitar that inspires you to play the most. The next thing we want to talk about is the setup on the guitar. No matter what guitar you buy, whether you buy it online, whether you buy it in a store, it doesn't matter. If you're not familiar with all of the settings, how high the strings are, the action, all that kind of stuff, you can get lost in it. And if it's not set up correctly, this is probably the number one thing that pushes people away from playing guitar. And that is maybe your fingers hurt, it's not adjusted correctly. The next thing you know, you set the guitar down. So take it to a reputable guitar tech, somebody who they may work in a store. There might be somebody who specializes this in my area. I've got a guy and he is a guitar tech, and everybody takes his guitars to him, their guitars to him, and have them repaired. We have a bunch of how-to videos on the channel that you can watch to learn how to do this over time. We've got like, I don't know, 2,000 videos on this channel that help do that. But at first, maybe just take it to somebody and invest that time and money into having it set up so that you have a guitar that you feel comfortable playing on and that they can really help you get the most out of the guitar that you just bought. Number 3 is going to be the rest of your setup. You'll need a cable to plug your guitar in. You'll need a couple of picks or plectrums, depending on where you are in the world. You'll need an amplifier. If you're going to play electric guitar, that is, you'll need those few things. If it was me, I would stay away from those little package things that you get in the box where the guitar and the amp and everything all comes in one thing. I personally don't feel like those are great, maybe a gift for the holidays or something like that. But I think if this is something that you're going to really take seriously yourself, I think putting together your own guitar rig is probably the safest thing to do. I'll leave some links in the description and the pinned comment of this video to give you a couple of budget conscious as well as other alternatives, very popular and very good alternatives for amps and cables and that sort of stuff. You don't need to spend a lot on a guitar amp. A lot of the even entry-level guitar amps now have a lot of features that allow you to explore a lot of sounds and really kind of find a version of your sound, even if it's not the most accurate thing to like classic music that we can think of. It'll at least get you in the direction, right, of sounds that you're looking for as you learn. So I'll leave a couple of links, maybe by Boss, maybe by Line 6, maybe by Marshall, and maybe by Positive Grid, a couple of things like that that you'll be able to kind of experiment with. Number 4 is going to be a practicing/learning regimen that you can manage. Don't bite off too much. Try to learn a little at a time. Try to practice a little bit every day. This is where I would like you, the rest of you who are more experienced, to get in the comments and give the newer ones some suggestions about how you practice. What are some good programs to get on? Sometimes folks will want to learn online, right? With like an online thing, there's a lot of resources for that. I'm not 100% familiar with a lot of those, but I know there are a lot of good ones. So if you have experience with some online learning resources, put those in the comments that you would recommend. The other thing is, I personally, if it was me, I would look for a local teacher that you would be able to go and do some in-person lessons with as well. Maybe once a week or a couple of times a month, and use the online stuff to sort of supplement that. You can ask around, go to your local music store. They'll probably have somebody they can recommend if they don't have somebody on site. You can go to your local like open mic nights and stuff and meet various people and see who they're using to learn. But even for more experienced players, taking lessons from somebody local is really, really valuable. Even for me, like if I take lessons, it's very valuable for me even playing many years later. I would definitely recommend that. And then also use the online resources. And if, like I said, if those of you that have experience with those, please put them in the comments so that somebody else might be able to learn from it. Number 5, and this is something I think a lot of us don't necessarily think about. A lot of us kind of lean on the gear, we lean on the technical stuff. But number 5 is a community. The biggest thing, honestly, about playing guitar, besides the actual creativity of it, like enjoying learning and creating music, is the community. There's a lot of folks that play guitar, right? And so being able to learn from and commune with and share ideas with various other folks that play guitar along with us is something that is really, really valuable, and it will move you along. Caution, it can also break you down. social media obviously is a tough place sometimes. And so, again, for those of you that are in the comments, I know on our channel, most folks are really super cool, and there's not a lot of trash talking in the comments and stuff. So do me a favor, get in the comments and recommend a couple of YouTube channels that you trust that might be able to help a new one get to know their guitar, be able to understand guitar more without getting kind of bogged down in it, right? And then the other thing is, are there any groups or forums? Facebook groups and stuff can get a little weird and you can kind of get bogged down in a lot of weird stuff. So are there any good ones that are real constructive that would help a new guitar player along? I've not been a new guitar player for a very long time, so I could be a little bit disconnected from this. So I'm asking for your help in the comments to help others who are newer guitar players to find those. That would be really, really cool if you all could have that conversation down below. I know this is not our normal video. Usually we get super nerdy about string weights and about pickup heights and about guitar setup and all that kind of stuff. And we do that. We will still do that. But one of the things that I've been thinking about for me personally is what inspires me to play every day and what inspires me to enjoy this. And so kind of going back to the beginning and thinking about a few of these things over the last few videos of like what really makes me inspired to play guitar. And to be honest with you, just around here, around the shop, it has helped me a lot. So if you've been playing guitar for a long time, please do me a favor, get in the comments and participate in this conversation with all the other new guitar players, because there's millions of them, and be able to share what you know with them. Encourage people to play. Don't push people away from the hobby with unnecessary myths and unnecessary things that don't really matter. We can definitely all enjoy this hobby, and I really, really appreciate your help in the comments. Thanks for hanging out. If you have a question about guitar stuff, put it in the comments. Maybe I'll try to find it down there and we'll make a video just for you. Do me a favor and like and subscribe and go to DylanTalksTone and buy pickups, because that's what we really do. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video.